Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Starkage podcast. I'm here again with Dr. Oatmeal.
Let's go.
Very silent on my end.
Yeah,
we got
quiet.
Yeah.
Then we got Astroverted,
Hello.
and then we have Prince.
How's it going, you sexy people?
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's totally not creepy at all.
yeah.
Late night radio DJ voice
Yeah.
just dropped.
Ooh, I got
Oh,
some
yeah,
chills on my arms.
Yeah, you gave me goosebumps.
Bet that feels good, doesn't it? I'm gonna stop. You already click off
Hey,
immediately.
yo.
50 Shades
And,
of Starkage.
Welcome to the ASMR episode.
And I am Crimson, also here, and I am excited to bring forth today's topic. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very interested in this topic.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested.
Kinda.
Yeah. It's
I'll give
it's
it its
decent.
So,
It's decent. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So today we're going to be covering AI and its many branches as much as we can during our episode here. So where'd you guys like to start with this?
Where can we go with this? There's like many different directions we can go with this.
Oh yeah.
Just got to choose
mean-
a path and walk.
All right. So maybe let's start with why is it of concern?
Well, it's helping people pass college, and I think that's we really got to discern if educational institutions should be free of that kind of technology, because it takes away the responsibility of the student to actually retain information, which is the whole point of a school.
Yeah,
It
and
puts
then
the responsibility
Yeah.
of retaining information on a machine, which is graphing calculator, better than an abacus, but you're not going to tell me that you want a lawyer that passed the bar with a chatbot to represent you in court.
yeah,
True.
or a surgeon. Of some sort.
Yeah, exactly. That
Listen, I played Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and Surgeon Simulator. I got this.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting at. Where it's that that stormtrooper that's just like in the simulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as they proceed to miss every shot.
Miss every shot. Confidently miss every shot too. And
Yeah, good.
no, I mean, just to close that up, I think if we're worried about the erosion of the human intellect instead of supporting the human intellect, we need to go right to the source and either dismantle educational institutions as they stand now, since the AI has already infected them, or try to sterilize them from AI, so that way people that go into art school aren't thinking oh man, I can't wait to come up with some new prompts.
Yeah.
Bro, they should be thinking about oh, I can't wait to learn how to stretch my own canvas and paint from life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the imagination.
I mean, don't a lot of colleges already have the bot it maybe an AI to check if it's AI that written an essay or something?
Yeah, so
they do have bots that do that.
But
Yeah, so it's like battle bots.
Yeah, there's always workarounds to it too.
yeah.
That's true.
But I definitely think that I think it probably does need to be, at least in the educational system, it probably does need to be removed somehow in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I'm sure, I don't know about you guys, but I've always, at least since I've been in college, I've always heard people making the argument of well, I should be able to, doing tests and homework isn't realistic because without external source or external help AI and stuff, because they're because in the real world I'll always have this available to me, but I'm not the biggest fan of that argument, and I think you truly should be knowledgeable in your field. And
Yeah.
it's kind of, it can be a dangerous thing if you really don't know confidently what like what your career, like in a career sense, what you're doing. Like I mean, people joke about like the doctor thing, but it's like it's kind of a problem if you like actually don't have things memorized, and if you rely on external resources too much, that's a huge problem.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of memes where it's like, don't get sick or like don't get into an accident because your future doctor's using ChatGPT to study for the test or something.
Yeah, and that comes off as like a scare tactic, but I mean it's as true as it needs to be.
No, it is true.
Yeah, I mean,
Because like the pandemic, I feel like there was an upsurge of using AI.
Using
I mean-
just like digital kind of resources.
I think there are benefits to AI, but I think we use it for very, very wrong reasons.
Yeah.
No, we definitely do.
Correct.
Especially, I mean, it's like obviously detrimental to the education system, but like the issue is too, like, how do you even detect what is written by AI versus what isn't written by AI? And that's like the difficulty that the professors have to deal with. I did want to like briefly touch up on this really quickly, which is referring to like the Turing test, or another coin term. Well, the original term for it was an imitation game, but basically it's a test to see if the AI or machine or whatever has consciousness. And the definition of like what passes a Turing test has been pushed back because we've actually, or not pushed back, but like pushed forward, I guess. We were raising the bar on that because AI has gotten a lot better and it's getting a lot harder to detect if it's human or not. And like we're getting really close.
That's the scary part.
We're getting really close to making it like almost indistinguishable.
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna be really wild.
Wasn't the first bar like if it could fool another human?
Yeah, I don't actually remember which stages it was,
Okay.
but if I was to guess, yeah, I'd probably say that.
Right. Like a third party that's an actual person has to decide between the machine and the real person and decide who's the real one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
because it's an interrogator that has to decide like which
Right.
one's the machine and which one's the human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can
And-
already trick that.
That's wild for two reasons. Number one, ChatGPT went on Fiverr and hired somebody to do a CAPTCHA for them.
Oh, yep.
my
So that's
God.
that's the first thing.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, that's wild,
Number
man.
two, this may sound like me digressing, but we're getting into an undetectable era of plastic surgery and stuff. Like it's gonna be soon be impossible to tell people if people have gotten plastic surgery or not, which is good for like burn victims and stuff like that. But also the celebrities will just like seem to be young forever.
Yeah,
until they
and
die.
catering to only one beauty standard,
Yeah.
probably. Which
So I say that
I
to
think
say
hurts
this.
diversity.
Yes, agreed. But I say that to
Yeah.
say this, like, are we also moving into an undetectable AI era?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's gonna happen pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
Honestly,
yeah.
like,
Can you imagine an AI applying for a job, getting an interview, and then coming to the interview as like a computer?
an iPad.
Yeah.
an iPad.
Or like
Well, I'm sure it could
like
generate.
hold on. Could you have AI get jobs for you to pay your
Oh,
bills
yeah.
and shit?
I could see that. I could see it getting a
wouldn't
job
mind that.
for
I
you.
feel like
Okay, hold on. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Wait a minute.
I feel like I can't prove this,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a possibility that like companies are using AI to like put up their job listing and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
That's
they already.
And it's,
I think they already use AI to clear through applications where they search for like keywords. Like this is already being used where they like search for keywords and like automatically trash certain applicants depending on like what the contents of the document are, and then the few that get through are the ones that are actually reviewed by a real person. So,
and this is, I mean, that could also just dive into like a whole other thing with AI. Like, does that like take away people's jobs? Because like before with like human resources, if people would send an application, that person would have to read it. Now they don't have to, I guess.
yeah.
Unless,
Well,
because you said they would just search those keywords and throw it away.
there
Yeah.
there is
But it's
still a
like-
human at the end of that process, so maybe that human is just using that as a tool.
Yeah.
But like, how
And-
long are they gonna have that person there?
That's true too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
ironically, a lot of people create their resumes using AI too. So it's like there's one at the beginning and then one at the end, but nothing in between.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. Let's look at this in a kind of like in a light that makes it so I don't have to go to work anymore.
okay.
If we can.
The dream. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that's-
dream is not having to work in the conventional sense. I don't mind doing a task that is of artisan level for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That
But-
task that's at an artisan level is probably like board drafting. If I learned how to board draft instead of using AutoCAD and was just a board drafter for the rest of my life, I would do that. But if they just put me on AutoCAD for the rest of my life, I would do that too. So that feels like a career, not like a job. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. But if I don't have that, and I have all these other menial jobs, having the menial job being taken up by AI, like the kiosk in a McDonald's that takes your order,
Yeah.
there went somebody's job. And I'm happy for it,
I
because then
mean-
that's one less asshole that has to work at McDonald's.
Yeah. And it sucks because like we still, like, all of us contribute to it, because like you go to McDonald's, you can see someone standing by the register or the kiosk. I always go for like the kiosk
Me
because I
too.
don't want to talk to I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I do that part, that aspect of it kind of. I that's like one aspect of it where I prefer to remove the human interaction, because I really don't like going up to the, like, I don't know, I guess, social anxiety gang, shout out, but
Yeah, right.
Oh my
like,
God.
you don't want to.
I just fucking
hate
hate
it.
people.
I hate the menial interactions like that, where it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of times where it's like really fake and it's just draining, and I like that I put in my shit and then I wait and then they say my name and that's it. And you thank the person, but in a way, yeah, it does. Yeah, like in a way, I guess getting better at social anxiety is actually experiencing it and being in situations where you have to deal with it.
Mhm.
But so maybe the human interaction, I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth on it. Maybe removing that human interaction, maybe it isn't the best thing. I don't know.
Do you like the
my anxiety. Anxiety by Doji.
Do you like the what do you call it? The robotic drive-throughs?
Are you talking about when you pull
Oh,
up to the
yeah.
drive-through thing and they speak? It's like in a pre-automated message. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
when you
hate
break
those.
them.
I can't stand it.
So you
And
don't
it's
like it there, but you like
No.
it when it's a touchscreen.
At a drive-through, it'll do the super loud, like, "Hi, thank you for coming in today," or whatever, and it's like in like a woman's voice, and then you like start saying your order, and it's just some dude who's like, he's just exhausted, and he's like, "All right, so this and this, all right, pull forward," and then it's like, I can't stand that. That's like, I would
Have
much
you
rather
had
just
the
talk to
one-
the dude.
Have you had the one where it's like a robot the whole time?
No.
Yeah.
I never got the robot before.
There's-
I've seen clips of it where like some dude was like, he's at Taco Bell and they're like,
Yeah.
"What would you like to drink with that?" And he keeps saying Baja Blast or whatever, and they just keep asking what he'd like to drink, and he just gets pissed.
Oh my god.
I saw that version, but like someone was like, "I want 100 water cups."
Yeah. Yeah. And it broke. It
Yeah.
didn't even have a response. It kind of like stuttered and then just
I
stopped.
think it was a Wendy's.
Yeah, so the
Sure, I love
drive-thrus
that.
that have the robot the whole time, that's another interesting aspect, because technically they went somebody else's job.
That is true.
And if we do that for the whole building, if the first places to become 100% automated by robots are food places, I will only be happy if that doesn't run mom and pop shops out of business.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think McDonald's already has
Isn't that kind of
Doesn't McDonald's have a store already like that? Where it's like mostly
Is it
ran
in
over
Japan or
robots? Yeah. Well, I don't know, but probably not Japan. I think it's in the U.S.
Really?
there's
Yeah.
something I don't know.
I
There's
go
like
there.
maybe I'm just thinking about this differently or too much, but like there's something a little bit odd or like uncomfortable leaving a very important human necessity fully in the hands of like AI in the terms of like food.
Food.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, sure, you don't have to go to McDonald's and you can still like go to the grocery store and cook.
Right.
But I think a lot of people do rely on McDonald's because it's just like the most affordable thing in terms of like fast food, and it's the most time
I
convenient and
don't
efficient
know if it's
thing
the most
too.
affordable anymore.
Anymore? Hell no.
Yeah, it's
Well,
like
I remember
if you
like
go
a
to like
luxury.
Yeah, I remember
you
when
go
two
there-
fish fillets were $3.33.
Jeez.
Well, like
That's
the
days.
I know my roommates, for example, whenever they're like not doing good on money, they will go to McDonald's, and it's still like not. It's still not as cheap as like getting your own stuff and cooking at home, but they will go there and order just McChickens because they always have they usually typically have a deal for them going on, and they're really cheap. So if you're just getting something like that,
Yeah, they're
it
kind of
is-
filling too.
yeah, it is affordable. It's like cost efficient in terms of like how much it fills you up, how much
Two
it
McChickens
costs.
could fill me up, yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, I was gonna say, like, even going to the grocery store and buying something to make food now is not cheap anymore.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
choosing like the lesser of evils.
I'm gonna be straight
Yeah.
up with you. As
And then if you-
a criminal, I'd just be stealing half my cart from the grocery store.
Jeez.
We'd just be burying most of our groceries in the bags that we buy. So like half of the cart is Trojaned out of the building. That's like the wave. That's the only like, dude, we eat salmon twice a month on
Oh, dude,
clockwork.
Salmon's so
Yeah,
good though.
that's and I'm not like I don't.
It's just
I
too
mean,
damn expensive.
I personally
though.
don't have any. Yeah, I personally don't have any issue with that. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but
Nah, I'm about that Aladdin shit. I'll steal a loaf of bread with my money.
you should not like.
I wish I didn't have to. I wish I made enough
Yeah.
money to just buy everything.
Yeah, like necessities shouldn't. They shouldn't be gatekept by, and especially the quality of food too should not be gatekept by the amount of income you're bringing home. That is
Yeah.
ridiculous to me. Like
Yeah,
paywall.
salmon is a super healthy food choice, and so
Yeah.
is all of the organic. Like if you don't want a bioengineered fucking produce, you're gonna have to pay more for it because
Why
it's
is it
just
the
less
stuff they
available.
do
Just-
And
less
it's
too?
stupid.
It's the stuff
Just
they do
fucking
less
work
to
more, guys.
that-
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, skill issue.
Work
Are
more?
you really gonna steal from the rich? The fuck?
Yo, he's playing class war devil's advocate. Everybody point and laugh.
And just
You want to survive for free?
to
Get outta here.
to clarify, when you mean by quality, you mean like health quality, specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that that's clear. But
Because
Yeah.
I'm personally someone who's like very,
Gotta
very
eat clean.
interested and very. I'd like to say I'm pretty knowledgeable in terms of like nutrition. And I'm like heavily invested into learning about nutrition, and yeah, it's just it's infuriating. Like whenever it's just hard to be healthy here, at least in the U.S.
do you think AI supported agriculture would bring the price down?
That's. Ooh,
I guess another question too is like, since
technically, well,
AI is taking more menial jobs away, like once it takes away so many menial jobs,
Yeah.
like what does the majority of the population do at that point?
See.
Have you ever seen the movie Wall-E?
Yeah.
Yes.
They just go on cruises.
That's basically where we're gonna head.
Yeah, right. Wall-E and
I got-
Idiocracy at the same time, somehow.
See, I will say that's a good question that you posed there, Pedro. And I don't know. I feel like companies, once their prices go up, they typically don't come back down. So
Yeah, because
if
they
if
get you used to paying at that other rate, yeah.
yeah, so if they start using AI to do more agricultural work and thus are paying less people to do that work that the AI is now doing and that they are not paying the AI for,
Profit margins.
their profits will go up and the cost of the products will not go down.
Yeah.
And
So,
that's
what
the
you're
whole
saying
point of why
is-
they would even use AI to begin with, is because like, oh, we could greatly
Make more
increase and make more money and increase our profit margin. And that's, I have no trust in privatized billion-dollar companies to
do the
have
right
best
the
interests.
moral compass to do the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and-
dead ass. So what you're saying is, instead of putting AI everywhere first, we should dismantle
Mm-hmm.
the oligarchy first, and then put AI everywhere. Once everybody has their own equity,
Real though.
their own like homestead, then we AI everything and make it so no one has to work menial jobs. Then we institute a 4-hour workday for able-bodied Americans, where they only have to do 4 hours of artisan level labor per person per day, not even a 5-day week. You get to pick when
That'd
you
be-
come in. You know what I mean?
That would be that'd be an awesome point to reach.
Because
I also
They're
one
gonna-
thing is though is that like I don't necessarily want all the menial jobs to go, because there are some people where those menial jobs are like they feel
Keep
like they're
life.
calling to them. I
Yeah.
guess yeah.
Yeah, keeps them
and they
busy.
feel fulfilled by it. And
Yeah.
like, and I guess
Just get a new
one
hobby.
person's menial job is going to be different to another person. But like if someone like say agriculture begins getting taken over by AI, it's like, well, what about the people that actually are really passionate about being farmers and really want to be farmers? You know, like
yeah,
I mean, that's I don't want that to be taken away from them, and
Right.
they most likely what they produce is probably going to be more expensive than something that was managed and run by AI. So people might not choose that.
that's why I said
You know
the
what's already
dog water restaurants, if they got replaced with AI, I wouldn't even blink, as long as it didn't affect the mom and pop shops.
Yeah. But do you know what AI is kind of taking away jobs from people?
Where at?
Artists.
Ooh.
Yep. That is actively happening at a concerning
Alarming
pace. Yes.
rate, yeah.
Yeah.
Alarming rate. Yeah.
Alarming rate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of
Um,
like I was gonna you want to take a go at it first?
Me?
I was Keaton
Oh no, it's Chris. You can go.
or yeah,
I mean,
whoever.
yeah, I'll start it. So,
I feel like it's more applicable
I
to
think-
you and people you know.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I mean, when AI started popping up, like at first, it was like really easy to determine that it was AI. Like you could just see something and be like, oh, that person has an extra arm or that extra fingers.
Yeah.
Their eyes are all fucked up.
This edge looks weird.
Yeah.
But now, with the rate of how AI is like evolving, like it's getting really, at least for me, maybe I need new eyes. It's getting a little bit harder to see if it's AI generated or not.
Yeah, it's like impossible.
Because they're training it on real artists' work without their permission.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which that's the shit that bothers me so much.
Which is theft. Period.
Yeah,
Like that
That's
is
theft.
100%.
Right. As
That
a
is
criminal, I will
illegal.
agree that is theft.
And there is many people that have been punished or like have been brought legal action, like legal action has been brought upon them for like stealing like I guess like data and stuff, or not data, I guess like
Intellectual
resources from like
property?
textbook, yeah, intellectual property, like resources from online textbooks, things like that. And these big companies can, they can steal all of these artists' work without their permission and use it to train their AI bots, just like I don't remember what AI program it was, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to know what this is. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they had used. There's a couple of websites out there where us college students we go to get free textbooks, even though they're not supposed to be free.
Right.
And there's a lot of these AI models that are being trained off of textbooks from those websites, where it's still illegal, and they don't seem to face any repercussion of action because they protect themselves by hiding evidence that they stole it.
And didn't Instagram recently allow for AI to use works that are on Instagram?
I believe so, and I think that's why a lot of
Yeah.
artists are warning other artists about it on Instagram, where they're like, turn the setting off or just get off the app.
Yeah, and then they just
Like-
subtly put that in there and didn't say anything. They
Well,
probably have
of
it.
course. That's
it's in
how
fine
every
print
update
somewhere.
of terms of service happens. Yeah.
It's frustrating.
I know Spotify has, it's like, when you make playlists and you can put like an image. I know now they're starting to like promote like, oh, you can create your own AI image for your playlist. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Oh wait, really? This is a new
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Horny.
Wow.
that's a new thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I guess I didn't really mind the DJ because I'm like, okay, that's supposed to mix up my Spotify listens and whatever.
yeah.
Does a shitty job.
Well,
It does. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All the AI inclusions in modern websites like Gronk, and it's like, come on, dog.
I was gonna bring that up too. Like, I guess it goes back all the way to the education, but like, AI really makes people really lazy.
Yeah, it does.
Like, cause I'll go on Twitter. I'm not calling it fucking X. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'll
Real?
go on Twitter,
Real?
and then and then someone in the comments will be like, "Gronk, is this real? Or like, can you explain this?" And it's like, you fucking kidding me?
oh,
They're like,
Or someone will use ChatGPT to like find the answer, and it's like, you could do your own research. You don't have to be so fucking lazy.
right.
what is research?
Yeah.
But also, it's funny that you mentioned the earlier. I just wanted to bring this up. It's a short thing. You mentioned like some like artwork having like the characters, the people in the artwork having like more fingers than they're supposed to. For example, I think I saw something. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't real, but I think it was like Black Ops 6 or something, like one of the newer Black Ops games, like one of the loading screens for zombies, one of the zombies has like 6 fingers, where it's
no.
like they're obviously, this multi-million-dollar company, I don't know, maybe more than that at this point, they can't afford to pay an artist to make a loading screen, an artwork for a loading screen. Like, they're gonna AI generate the zombie with 6 fingers, like.
Yep.
And it's like, the thing is it's hard. It's like hard to notice. It's like if I looked at it and I couldn't even tell, and then I was like, I counted it and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking 6 fingers. It's yeah, and I don't think that was an artist mistake either. That's pretty sure that's AI.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them at
Yeah.
all.
That is, see what you mean?
I'm
That's just so lazy. That's
Yeah.
so
I'm gonna be honest,
lazy
though.
and tone deaf and detached from. It reminds me of that shit. One of the reasons I don't like Nike is because what the CEO of Nike did to the person who drew the swoosh. Hassled her about the design, rushed her through it, gets this design, barely pays her anything. The company blows the fuck up. She's like, hey, can I get royalties from my design?
No.
Yeah. And he's like, nah. Nah.
Why did you
Just
even know
like
about that?
severance packaged the fuck out of her.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn. Didn't Mark Zuckerberg do something similar too?
That
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Of course, that fucking lizard would.
I don't know.
Mad.
You're not talking about like,
Facebook, dude.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not talking about like, are you referring to like the whole story of like what the movie the network covers, like with him and
Yeah.
his partner that he undercut. Yeah, that's different, but
It's a little
also
different. But
horrible.
yeah, it's similar like moral issue.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Shit's the worst.
I'm probably gonna get some hate for this.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna say it, but if you're still playing Call of Duty in the year 2025, you're a major cornball. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that game hasn't pushed
It's
the
just it's not
envelope
for me.
in like 15 years.
I don't know. That's like a whole different conversation about the video game market.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting for the next Call of Duty, the next NBA, whatever.
Okay, those are the games I can't get behind personally. Like when people are buying every new FIFA and every new
It's the
2K,
same type of people too.
and I'm like, why would you? I guess like a lot of people do it because it's like their favorite players or something. Because you know there's new players every year, different like teams and rotation. You know, but
It's the same thing with Call of Duty though.
yeah.
I'm just saying like, oh, it's new maps. Oh, it's the same fucking guns over and over again. It's the same
They
equipment.
change it
Yeah,
up
it is,
sometimes.
And the company
Okay, so
treats it
if,
the same too.
if
We're
the
like-
equipment is different, would you have a different opinion of it?
I guess, but it kind of feels like lately they've just been copying and pasting it just to make a quick buck.
So I was
I mean, come on now. Like they were like selling this game for like what, $80 now?
yeah.
Oh, they jumped it up to
Like
80
that's
now?
fucking insane.
Gameflation is terrible.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you
I
buy,
thought
like,
Nintendo
half
was the
of a
only one
game
doing
for
that.
more money.
No, this has been going on.
I didn't know they upped it to 80 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And people are still buying it.
yeah, of course they're going to. I mean, they spent $110
Yeah.
for the deluxe edition or whatever. That's usually like the upper end
You-
price.
You can't be this fucking dense.
And
Oh yeah, you can.
I
Look
also
at the human
we're
race,
probably
baby.
A little off topic from AI, but I
I don't know. Maybe
also
the game's made by AI.
I can't stand to how little they care or give a damn about the game and their servers too, because it's like after the game's up for like I don't know, maybe a year or 2 years, then they
If you're
just
lucky.
stop giving a shit about cheaters, and then
Yeah.
the game just gets flooded with cheaters, and you just can't. It's just not fun anymore.
Unplayable.
I digress.
Don't
I'm just saying.
cheaters know that they are pumpkin eaters?
I guess not. Someone needs to tell them.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
There needs to be more to gaming than just point and shoot. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a stupid Banjo-Kazooie fanboy, but I like platformers. I like collecting stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my little tism thing right
Yeah,
there.
you get like some sense of
can't-
progression.
Yeah,
too,
I can't.
yeah. I need it.
I can't. I just don't like Call of Duty.
I
That's
feel
fair.
like now that we're on gaming, this might be a good transition into our next topic, VR.
Oh shit.
Well, actually,
That's true.
I don't want to get too
Before-
much horse blood on our shoes with AI.
well, I did want to cover the energy usage of AI,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we need to touch up on that real quick.
because
But real quick, I was gonna say like, how do we feel about games being created by AI?
I feel like they're not going to be good.
Well, wasn't
Like you can do it if you want, but they're probably not.
Was
gonna be
Pal
good.
World AI?
not created by AI, but I think some of the designs or something. I remember there's some big deal about it.
well, I know that.
Because
Am
honestly,
I crazy? Hold on.
Well, I know that.
honestly, like I feel like you can make an AI game like a visual novel. I guess. I mean, that's not really a game; that's a novel. But choose your own adventure kind of game. You could just AI generate a random image, like there's your main protagonist, and AI generate music.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so
possible. I mean, I'd
apparently that
play
was-
it, but I
The
don't think
Pal
it'd be any
World thing
good.
was false, apparently. But I think people were speculating that they used AI for some assets, but nothing's been confirmed. So
I will say I do feel like
know.
I feel like the gaming and like gaming industry, like the companies that make games I feel like often have very toxic environments where they're absolutely abusing the fuck out of their employees, working them into the ground, not giving them the rewards that they should be receiving back for their efforts, because every video game developer, it's like the more and more that you're just abusing them, the less and less it becomes a passion project, and that's what's kind of ruining games. And that's why indie games are kind of starting to sprout quite a bit more and do a lot better than some of these AAA games, where these companies just treat their developers like shit. So in the sense of like,
take certain things out of the lockers.
but I do feel like AI is it probably is going to hurt more the indie game industry more than it will help it. Right. And then it'll probably benefit the bigger companies more than it'll harm them. So I probably would be against it.
In anime too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in anime and movies. Like, aren't they trying to just do AI written scripts and all that? Mm-hmm. Get rid of writers.
Get rid of writers and
get rid of the humanity that's
deepfake
the basis of
actors and stuff.
All of this.
That's awful, because I was gonna say this before we move off of AI, but I think it's just so awful that we use AI in areas that are supposed to be like meant for the humanities, like art and stuff. Like, that's something for us to utilize to express ourselves. Why are you taking that away instead of like doing things where it's like more proper to use AI in? Like, do like when we said it before, like the menial jobs and like things that people don't want to do. Why go after the things that we actually do enjoy doing and like use it as a way to express ourselves? Like, that's kind of like silencing. It's like silencing us.
Dude, some of these AI artists in quotations. They I see, especially on Twitter. I should get off of Twitter, really. Like, Twitter's just
get off of that shit.
A godless wasteland.
Yeah. But like, I'll go look at some artist, they'll draw it and like, hey, that's pretty good. And then I go into look in the comments and someone's like fixed it, and it's some worse AI generated like version of it. I go to their profile and it's like this person's like 100% AI supportive, and I'm like, you absolute fucking leech.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
Well, some people make a
so
living
bad
off of doing stuff like that because they get to call it their own. Then if they just use other people's stuff to generate things.
Yeah, like I think the worst one's probably like the Studio Ghibli AIs that have been going around. That is like such a kick in the teeth to that guy.
Yeah.
Ooh. To Miyazaki, bro. Like, he hates
so
that
pissed.
shit.
He is so
pissed.
that
there's more Studio Ghibli styled art out there than there is actual Studio Ghibli style art.
Yeah, that's like the singularity.
Yeah.
I always think of him saying like anime was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh jeez.
When that Studio Ghibli trend was going around, like, I was giving people side eye, whoever fucking used that.
Yeah.
Like, I was not on board with that.
I don't fuck with that. I don't trust like that. That's bad. That's a bad use of AI. That's bad people stuff.
And like there's some people I knew in real life using it, and I'm like,
and they like think that they're cute with it, and I'm just like,
yeah, and it's like, it's not cute.
You're
stealing
not cute,
stuff,
bro.
Yeah,
it's not hee hee ha ha. Yeah, hell no.
Wait, how are people using it exactly? I think I'm in the loop.
They would like make their couple photos like with a filter. You know what I mean? It's like a filter, kind of.
Okay.
And some of my friends have used a bunch of AI filters, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. The reason why AI filters gets a pass for me is because I'm really into augmented reality. I'm really into like heads-up displays and smart glasses, and when you have those filters on Snapchat that like put stuff around your head or like,
yeah, that's fine.
That stuff is cool to me.
I don't want to say that I'm fully on board with that being fine for me. To some extent, yes. And the reason why is because I would probably begin to have some concern whenever it starts dabbling into pornography, and when it starts dabbling into like like physical sensations, where like like Cyberpunk does a pretty good coverage and depiction of that, where that can be pretty dangerous, and then there would start being illegal content, and then
like deepfakes and stuff.
Yeah, and then well, also then it would, I mean, maybe it'd be helpful in keeping cases down, but like, I mean, there's probably going to be people that are making things that involve like children or
100%,
and that's
yikes,
or like actual like like what is it called, whenever it involves like dead people, I forgot. Necrophilia. Yeah, like there is some, it will, like, if that becomes available, those things will happen. They will be they will be created. And
I mean, at that point, you're talking about like deepfakes.
Yeah,
yes,
and
that kind of augmented reality, where people can experience it, is that's a little concerning.
There is there's like Web 1.0, which is the old internet, where you basically just experienced web pages. You surfed around on the internet and experienced web pages. There wasn't really much interaction except for, forums and stuff like that. And then there's like Web 2.0, where the viewer is actually interacting with the internet, like posting pictures and videos and making their own content and stuff like that. And there is a proposed Web 3.0, which is like the Internet of Things. And I think like augmented reality is a nice step towards that, towards like the next phase of the internet. Kind of like in Lane when she becomes omnipresent, because she writes herself into the next protocol of the internet.
I think me and you are the only ones that actually watched Lane.
I haven't watched it all the way through.
Yeah,
but
I just spoiled the ending.
Lane's good.
Yeah.
What is Lane?
Well, it's an anime.
Okay, it's an anime, not a movie. Okay,
it's an anime that like the intro's been overplayed so much that it is the most unwatched anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I definitely know the name though.
Yeah, Serial Experiments Lane.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Really fantastic.
So good. But I mean, that dabbles a little bit in like AR, AI, VR.
Yeah.
Kind of like all of our topics today. That's a great anime to watch. Viewers at home, listeners at home.
Watch Lane
watch
right
Lane
now.
right now.
I guess I need to watch it too.
And then watch Lane. Yeah, you should have did your homework.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't know. Yeah.
Watch this entire anime. This is your homework assignment.
Yep.
We're gonna
report back.
Get to that point. Yeah, we did that. We watched a whole movie and reported back.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't in the syllabus this time,
Yeah,
that's true. That is.
The professor didn't say it would be on the exam. This is bullshit.
Right. So speaking of AR, I don't know if we're done with AI, but
Not yet.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on.
more. There's more.
Yeah. Dude, this is like a bottomless rabbit hole.
True.
Gentlemen, I have an important question to ask.
Okay.
It's already like with the AR, it's like kind of attached to it, but is it ethical to goon to AI art?
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Yeah. That had to be thrown out there.
Ethical? Yes. Art is art. I mean, there is stuff.
I would call AI art.
There is stuff that is, engraved onto the sides of temples, and we will never know who was the engraver because it was made by slaves or something like that. And we consider those like some of the wonders of the world. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, when we're talking about if something is ethical or not, we gotta really discuss like the difference between ethics and morality. I don't know if we have the time for that.
We don't have the time for that.
We definitely don't have the time for that. But ethically, ethically, you should just be able to kill pedophiles. Morally, you probably
should.
shouldn't kill anybody, but you know what I mean? Ethics is like a knife to the ribs when it comes to the assertion of itself.
All right, then I guess I will reword the question. Is it right, or is it like
Morally just, or not morally just, I guess, but is it moral?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Is it normal?
then that's a whole other rabbit hole
Is
of
it
morals.
normal?
I'm just saying, with religion and outside of that too, like, but I think I get the point of where you're coming from, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you guys think about that?
I think the issue is like there's just such a high demand when it comes to pornography, which is partly I think why AI went into the direction of art, if I was to guess, because porn sells, sex sells, and so like there's such a high demand for it, which is just crazy. Like I mean I'm not sure about this, but I was told at one point that the thing that's like viewed the most on the internet, instead of like people educating themselves and like we have this huge knowledge base at the tips of our fingertips, we use it instead to watch porn. So
That is one of our most consumed medias that are on the internet for sure. Yes.
so
We are fucking animals.
I mean, yes,
sensations.
scientifically, yes, we are animals.
Scientifically, yes.
But yeah, like since it's like such a high demand, it's kind of like a weird, like I think moral gray area, because I don't know. I don't really know how I personally think about it, to be honest. But since it's in such high demand, yeah.
I don't just think about it in this way, but that is someone's job. Again, there are some people that make a living off of that, where they make artwork requests and stuff, or people make requests and then they use their creativity to try and mimic what it is that their client is interested in, and a lot of people make a fuck ton of money off of it, and that's how they live, and it's still a passion of theirs, and
Right.
I mean, to some extent, I don't see it as like all that bad, unless it's like it's they're requesting something that's just like morally like we were talking about morals and ethics, but like unless it's something where it's like it involves like something kid or child, like I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, fucking people did like nude paintings, and people do marble sculptures of naked figures, or they'll depict pornographic things or sexual acts, and like that's not, I don't have an issue with that. That's just human. Like I mean, and it's some people are interested in capturing different parts of human essence, and so for some people that is like making art related to sexual acts, which a lot of people have interest in paying for.
I mean, like with like the whole AI to make pornographic images, it's like I think it's very well. First of all, like they're stealing someone's like drawing style, probably.
Oh yeah, certainly.
But it also is it like I feel like it kind of damages, like I mean porn already damages the brain as it is, but like there are some images that I've seen where it's just like the woman's like chest and butt were like expanded so fucking huge, and it's just like this is kind of sets so unrealistic like standards for people.
Like the average Fallout mod.
Yeah.
That's an interesting psychology thing actually too, is where like the more people get used to something, the more and more that they crave or want something even more extreme. So like for some people, the more that they like, for a lot of people who watch porn consistently, a lot of people will steer away from like something vanilla. If they started vanilla and they're doing it consistently, they will steer more and more away from it and start needing something more intense or something more captivating as they get used to it, and it becomes like a downward spiral whenever it comes to porn addiction. And then it can create these unrealistic expectations of like, for my like partner, I really want them to have this, these ginormous chest that's probably going to cause them back pain, and then it's so there's so many like I don't know. There can be a downward spiral to it for sure. I just
Yeah, it's no longer the hourglass. It's now the dumbbell shape.
Jesus.
What, like a fucking empty roll of toothpaste?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But
Just split the middle.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But I don't know. I don't know. I probably wouldn't be for it, just in the sense of like, yeah, I don't want those people's jobs to be taken away though, if that's something that they want to do for a living.
But I guess it comes to the
I mean,
issue that it's already out there, and it's like, so what does the consumer do? Like, or the person who's indulging in the activities? Like, should you feel guilty?
I think
Like using that.
consumer.
I think that's like more. Isn't that like more what the question was asking? Or
Should you feel guilty as the consumer for doing that?
yeah, like as like on a personal level.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Shame. For shame.
Yeah, shame. I mean, you're already looking at
Yeah,
porn, so
it's
for
already
shame.
shame. No.
Yeah, for
Shame
shame.
upon you.
But I mean, I just wanted to talk about the little psychological damages that AI images could do to people,
Oh, I have a.
mostly males.
Yeah, I think Pedro, you before the podcast, you made a point too about what if the artwork, the pornographic artwork, involves like real people, right?
Yeah.
Deep fakes.
I also have a huge
That's a-
issue with that too, because if I was like
It's fucked.
a popular, like music artist or something, or just someone that generally the public was attracted to, I'd be very, and this already exists, AI or not, but I would still be very uncomfortable with there being a bunch of pornography of myself or someone else, that I'm close to, or really just someone else in general. But
Yeah, I'd be really
that
grossed
would-
out.
Yeah,
It's so wrong.
I think that's a huge problem too in that instance.
Why do we as humans like corrupt everything we touch?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like this constant spiral towards entropy where like we just corrode everything that we're in the same room with.
It's usually greed, if I was to guess.
It's
Yeah.
it's always greed.
Yeah. I mean, like it's
But-
useful sometimes, but not very often. I mean, we use it all
Hell
the time.
no.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, just bringing up the psychological damages, I wanted to like segue that to the environmental damages.
Yep. In terms of like energy costs,
Yeah.
because AI does it takes a lot of power and it produces a lot of heat for servers and computers to run all of these different all these different algorithms and search through and sift through many terabytes of there's definitely a bigger measurement I can use here to put it more in perspective, but I don't know past petabytes of data that it just sifts through over and over again. And yeah, it's definitely like, I have a friend who did an internship for a company, and one of the things that they were focused on was making sure that that their company was running as energy efficient as possible for these server rooms where they had servers running for AI, and those rooms were always hot.
Yeah.
It's like, it is crazy how they're trying to do everything they can to make it as energy efficient as possible.
I do think that's going to change, though, with quantum computing.
Yeah, those take a lot of power too. But
They
I'm
do,
sure if
but
we
we don't need as like...
or if it becomes more normal, that we'll find a more efficient way of using, like energy efficient way of using quantum computers.
Yeah.
But
So you know what's funny about, before we did this podcast, I didn't do my homework really like I should have. Yeah. Stop laughing at me. But I typed it into Google, ChatGPT environmental impact. And I found the answer, which is like it consumes about 5 times more electricity than a simple web search. And it's fucking ironic because, see, the AI overview answered that question for me.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Well, there is actually something I did want to cover with that. Some things are like using the term AI that aren't actually AI.
Yeah, they're
Like-
just large language models.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like that the Google AI, quote unquote, it's not too much of like an AI thing as much as it is like it's just a little like algorithm, I guess. Maybe that's the wrong term, but that just runs where it just reads the first couple of links, it extracts some data from it, and then presents it to the searcher so that it can try and answer the question faster without you having to click through multiple sources and find your answer. And it's not necessarily like something like that takes that much power or is that scary. It's not like I guess technically you are asking it questions and it's just pulling from sources, but
I
don't
would
think-
still, I would
I mean,
still call
it
that
just-
AI though. It's still AI. It's just not
In the convention.
to the degree we're talking in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
It is
it's
still,
not to the extent of what people typically imagine as AI.
it's still making me a little bit lazy though.
True.
Because like I will see like the answer already answered for me right there, and I'm like, all right, cool. I don't need to search anymore.
It is wrong sometimes
not?
though, so it makes me critically think about it more.
Yeah.
So like there are some times I'm like, okay, I think I can trust it in this case. But there's been times I'm like, that doesn't seem right, and I, dive into it more and I'm like, oh, it was wrong. So that, it still makes me feel like I still need to be more precautious as a person when I look up things and not rely on the AI overview.
Yeah.
I genuinely wish that like a lot of older people that use AI would, be cautious, because a lot of the older generation will see something, especially on Facebook,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm sorry if this is going to derail this or not, but it still kind of ties it together. There'll be this AI generated picture of like a sad old lady. She'll be holding a cake and it's like, I'm celebrating my 90th birthday by myself. Please say happy birthday. And it's like, you'll see all these fucking boomers typing, oh, God bless, amen, happy birthday. And it's like, it's clearly fake. You can see it's not real.
I love that.
Or like a
I was about to.
AI,
that's the point I was going to
soldier.
mention too.
Oh my god.
That's the point I was going to mention too. After Keith here had made his point about, sometimes you question like, hang on, this doesn't seem right. I don't feel like most like average people question that initial like search that often. Like. And I guess I really shouldn't be saying that because I don't know what the average person would do, or I guess I truly am not aware of what the average person even looks like.
The average person is very lazy.
Yeah,
But
do you
I
think-
feel like a lot of people will see that response from the AI or like from like a Google search, and they don't check it, and even if it doesn't seem right. They're just like, okay, that's what it is, and they're not bothered by spending more time on it or putting more critical thought into like, does this seem accurate?
Do you think
Especially with politics. And I know that's like
yeah.
I'm stepping on ice.
Yeah.
I am literally
The
stepping
thinnest
on
of
ice.
ice.
One fucking more crack, it's over.
GG's.
But there is a lot of false information out there when it comes to that stuff,
Oh yeah.
and AI is most likely in the background of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly. But I was gonna say, do you think they use
AI and misinformation? No way.
No way. Do you think they use Chat GBT during their critical thinking class? That'd
I
be
hope
the
not.
most ironic
I swear,
thing.
This is probably what
I
your
saw crooked.
professor wants, human.
Human.
I saw crooked Hillary eating a puppy in China. I swear, I have the video right here. It's real.
That's
No need to look into
That's the
it.
thing too, is that it's like without even AI, like many older generation, like people of older generations are easily deceived by just basic things that are on the internet that have that had no AI involvement, and it's only going to get worse now, especially with deep fakes. And then on top of that, I fall victim to fucking AI sometimes. Like I remember I sent a reel to my partner, and I was like, oh, this is pretty, it was like it was a insect, and then she ends up sending me a response. She's like, this is AI. And then I look at the video again and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like I'm like really embarrassed now.
Got
like,
him.
I can't believe I didn't
really-
notice that, but like it's so sometimes it's even for people that are like, I guess, hip with technology or the modern day shit that we fall victim to it too. Like imagine people who are not used to it.
Yeah.
Well,
She really like held your hand and said, "Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you the truth."
but sometimes you do know it's AI, but it's like funny.
Yeah.
Like when it's like
I
the
know
really
those
messed
ones
up stuff.
where it's like the
Yeah.
Gordon
One Piece
Ramsay.
characters drinking lean and they all have grills. And they're like hitting vapes and stuff.
I
Love
also
those.
I just had a crazy thought just now too. As I was saying that, what about, so like we were saying that the older generation's more susceptible to like falling victim to believing things that are fake, that are like AI, like deep fakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about
Yeah.
in countries that are like underdeveloped or not used to AI at all? What can their government could absolutely abuse that, and the
Yeah.
fact that their citizens are not used
Uneducated.
to or knowledgeable or
they're
experienced
probably
with
already-
technology. I just now had that thought.
Oof.
It's probably happening right now as we speak.
I feel like it probably is, and there probably is information out there that I've just never come across.
Because we didn't do our
Yep.
homeworks.
We just did our
Damn
homework.
it,
So,
guys!
Like good,
in a country like
good little boys.
in a country like North Korea though, where like they're doing these videos where like, oh, these our citizens are working, and it's just these people staring at Google pages in their fucking cubicles that they clearly have no idea what the fuck they're doing because they've never seen it before. Imagine how easily they could be deceived by a deep fake
Yeah.
if like their like government is displaying certain things on like large screens and stuff, like they
It's
have
just
no
another-
fucking clue.
It's another tool to really suppress their people.
I mean, you guys do know Kim Jong-un doesn't have a butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Where you at?
Shout out the interview. Cause baby,
Gotta bring in the Katy Perry.
But
Karaoke.
that's just it. I feel like the further you get down this rabbit hole, the more concerning it gets, and
Oh, yeah.
parts of me don't
mean,
want to
I'm-
think about it, but then parts of me also think like it's more dangerous to not think about it.
I kind of want to delve even deeper into it a little bit, just real quick.
Okay.
I know we're like over an hour.
Yeah,
already
there is
and
no
feel like
more
we
real
should probably
quick.
wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
There's been real quick
Okay,
for the
real
last
quick.
40 minutes.
Hold on, let me cook. What about scammers? You know how you get those text messages, be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you visited an unpaid toll.
Yep.
Click this link to pay your shit."
Yeah, they tried getting me just
Scammers.
recently too.
Yeah.
I got that exact text message.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, my
But, like-
license has been suspended for like 4 years, and I haven't owned a car for 2. And I got that text message. It's like, dog, I wish
Be
I
fucking
wish
for
I
real,
had
yeah.
unpaid tolls. I wish I was out here running and gunning.
Damn.
Yeah, and those two are like, yeah, and like people with companies like selling people's data too, and data breaches happening, and then
Fuck those companies.
yeah, and then your email gets leaked or your phone number gets leaked, and then it's like really no part of our personal lives, or like a lot of our personal lives are going to be exposed to AI and be susceptible or victims of AI very
Yeah.
quickly here.
I mean, you have no privacy
Yep.
once you're born.
There's
Honestly,
no private life.
I mean, when you come out the womb, they like put a little tracker inside you.
Yeah, and our phones are listening in on us and stuff too. Because
Yep.
that's
Yep.
totally legal for some reason.
But but I wanted to bring to scammers real quick because like you know how some people will take AI generated voices of celebrities and YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna use our voices to like call our mom or grandmas and be like, hey grandma, I'm stuck in jail. Can you like Venmo me this so much money?
Ooh, yeah.
That's wild.
Or like I got into an accident. Please send money.
Yeah, especially with the older generation, because they're not prepared for that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even know if we are.
I mean, I don't pick up the phone, so if
Yeah,
someone calls
true.
me,
Me
they're
too.
gone.
I hate phone calls, man.
Yeah.
I
I was
do
like, this
kind
could
of
be
be on the
easily.
phone a bit. I like
It could
yapping.
be easily a text.
So I do want to, if it's okay, I definitely want to like, we're getting to the later end of this podcast. I want to give Pedro the floor here to talk about a little bit more about AR, because I know he's been wanting to talk about that. So.
Oh no, I mean we can keep going with AI, because then we can just save AR and VR for their own episodes, because they're deep too.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
I might do more homework on that too, because
Yeah.
I don't really know. I know VR. I don't know
I
AR,
just
though.
learned that the optical shop that I work at, we can take in people's like smart Ray-Bans and put prescriptions in them. So
What?
Ooh.
yeah, dude.
Wait, can you elaborate?
Well, Ray-Ban has smart glasses now.
I
You
did
know,
not know
like
this.
when
Yeah.
you go into the Best Buy and you get those glasses on, you can hear music.
Yeah, I hear music, take videos, answer phone calls, and we can put prescriptions
Super
in
secret
those.
agent.
Interesting.
I've been looking at not to get on topic, because I'd like to stay with AI, but I've been looking at these glasses called like X-Real Pro glasses that like display a screen in front of you, like a screen that you can like see through, and you can increase the opacity and decrease the opacity, and increase and decrease the tint of the glasses too, so you can use them indoors and stuff like that. AR is pretty tight. I'm not gonna front. I want a
That
heads-up
sounds
display
pretty
so
nice.
bad it makes me look stupid. That's-
Finally, I can watch YouTube without holding my phone in my hand while I take a shit.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I know it sounds dumb. It's little stuff like that, but it's like no, dead ass. You can do all types of shit. But when I think about the word AI, or rather the phrase, I'm looking for something intelligent, and all I'm seeing is like the regurgitation of information that's been provided to a lexicon. You know, I'm not actually seeing like, this is kind of like the iRobot like interrogation, where it's like, can you make a symphony? Can you draw a masterpiece? And then the robot's like, can you?
Damn.
You know, but no, I don't really see AI creating anything by
On
itself.
its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what they're trying to do. But like, yeah, a lot of people were mentioning like, yeah, you can tell it like how to do a certain art style. But like when
Yeah.
Van Gogh did the Starry Night, can an AI replicate that like creativity? You know,
Yeah.
like on its own without prior things to base it off of.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give Mona Lisa a G-sized cup, chest, bubble butt, and blowjob lip?
It's like the Master Chief one. It's like, can you take it? I can't even do it. God,
Just
I don't
takes
even
up the
remember
whole
all the
portrait.
shit
That's
he
it. I'm
says.
calling it. That's
Yeah.
it. We're ending it.
Yeah.
On. I'm calling
Okay,
it.
we got
that was
we
all.
gotta stop here.
Well, all right. Well,
Thank you guys for listening. Please share, like, subscribe. I want to get paid for this. Please.
Yeah. Don't let AI take this from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. AI
Also-
AI couldn't have made this.
Hell no. No way.
Also, not in a roundabout way to like increase engagement and like help us, but I actually would be curious of leaving comments of your takes or topics related to AI, AR, VR, which we'll touch on those latter two whenever we probably do the next episode or a different episode. But it'd be nice to hear what you guys are worried about or what you think is good about it, even because we didn't think we said a lot more negatives than we did positives, but
Oh yeah.
it'd be good to hear your guys' takes.
I mean, I'd love if people would just leave their takes on AI. That I would love to read all of it.
Yeah, even the hot ones. Maybe especially the
Yep.
hot ones.
If they're extra steamy.
Spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Not
we're going
the
back to
late
that
90s voice.
weird sexy thing you did in the beginning.
Yep. All right, I gotta go piss. I really gotta go piss.
That's still fair.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
Bye bye.